Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Upper St. Clair High School. It is home of the Panthers, and it is a Section 1 volleyball, boys volleyball night. I'm Kevin McGahee. My cameraman is James DeGangi, and we'll be with you all night bringing you this Section 1 contest. The Upper St. Clair Panthers come in here with a gaudy 11-0 record, including 9-0 in the section, including two victories outside the section, with 4 matches left to play. Peters Township comes in here. We've already played at their place earlier in the season. That ended up in the Panthers' pockets, of course. It was a 3-0 victory. And I will get the starting lineup set here in just a minute for you. If you've been watching all season long, you're going to see here a lot of familiar names. Here we go. The lineups are set. Junior number 23, Brett McCormick, will lead off the serving for the Panthers of Upper St. Clair. Upper St. Clair, as you know by now, is a heavily junior-laden team. A lot of experience in there. The Peters Township Indians are jammed full of seniors. And we'll get all those straight in just a minute. Number 21, that is Ben Pritz with the first Peters Township hit. And there's Austin Everett, just short of easing the ball back over the net. His first kill of the night. He'll be the big killer all night long. It's usually Troy Murphy, the setter, and Austin Everett, the killer. He's got Clay Mucha back in the lineup with him. Clay's been out most of the season with foot and ankle problems, but it's great to see him back as playoff time nears. Well, that one, I'm not sure if Peters Township intended to do that, but it did sort of roll its way over the net and onto the floor, and we're all knotted up at one. As I'm sure you all know by now, this is a best-of-5 match. First 1 to 3 game victories wins. A game is 25 points. You have to win it by 2, and there's Clay Mucha with a hit that's recovered by Peters Township, and a double hit called. That happens when you either you hit it with 2 hands but not at the same time, or an odd spin gets put on the ball. It is a violation, sends the ball over to the other team, and the side out gives the serve to number 11, Clay Mucha. One of 2 seniors on the Panthers squad. Austin Everett is the other. There's been Pritz again, and well, that's a nice little volley for Peters Township, and it's a 2-2 game. We're still extremely early in game number 1. Number 8 moves to the line for Peters. That's Mike Malenzi. He's a senior. Oh, he's not doing the setting. Sorry, that's Sean Toohey, number 9. Little backspin serve. Brett McCormick handles it. The set from Troy Murphy. Austin Everett. It was actually behind him. The set could have been closer to the net. Austin had to reach behind him to get to that ball. When that happens, you usually get under it and sail it long, and that's exactly what Austin did. And Peters with an early 3-2 lead. Brett McCormick again. Troy Murphy, and that time Austin Everett. No, wow. Hope no one got in the way of that. But that's how the previous play was supposed to work. The set was a little bit behind Austin. That one was perfect. And now junior number 10, Troy Murphy, the starting setter, heads back for a jump serve. A successful one at that. We'll talk about jump serves later. They can kill you. They can be your best friend. That one comes up a little short. Grant Bezic, number 24, he's a junior, having a whack at that, but he hammers it right smack into the net. So number 21 steps back for the Peters Township Indians, junior Ben Pritz. Also a jump server. That's what a jump server is supposed to do. It dives as it crosses the net, and that fooled Brett McCormick. The jump serve, when you leap up in the air, comes with a lot of topspin, and it dives for the floor the minute it crosses the net. That's exactly what happened there, and it's a point. Service ace for Peters Township. You play him off the net, that's a good ball. In the old days when I was growing up, you could not play a net ball. Nice block by Grant Bezic for a point, number 24. First successful block of the night. Grant Bezic, right place, right time. Panthers get the point and side out back, and senior Austin Everett back to the back line for the serve. Little topspin number, handled nicely by the back line for Peters. Little tap over by that landed out. Number 11 for Peters. That's Grant Coker. Didn't hit it very hard, but Brett McCormick could not find it to get it back in the Peters Township side. Substitution over on the Peters Township side. Number 24 on Brian Hayes. He substitutes. Mike Malencia, the senior setter, goes out. Eric Spingenberg to serve for Peters, and Matt Argento taking care of business. He's a junior hitter. First kill tonight for Matt. from the right side. That didn't fool anybody. That was number 23, Ryan Puel. Brett McCormick finding a gap right in the back line. Brett McCormick, his first kill. And the Panthers are spreading them around tonight. 4 kills for points. Austin Everett with 2, Matt Argento with 1, and Brett McCormick with 1. This is sophomore Trevor McGahey. He wearing the red jersey. That's the Libero's jersey. Another block, the double block, Grant Bezic and Clay Mucha. More being in the right place at the right time. That double block is what you want, making it tough for the hitters to get it over around you. Trevor McGahey once again with a little backspin serve. And from the back row, Trevor digging it out of there rather, keeping it alive. Grant Bezic off the block, gets it right back, shoves it to the back, just long. It was a good thought by Grant, actually, trying to shove it right and have it hit just inside the back line. Did not work that time, and it's a side on end point for Peters Township. Double substitution, number 19 on the floor, James Jasper, and number 12 comes in. 22 rather, excuse me, Mark Hayes. He'll go right back to do the serving. He's a junior and an outside hitter. We're all knotted up, 7-all. Brett McCormick. Wonderful Clay Mucha kill. 4 different killers tonight. With 5 kills, Panthers get the lead back, 8-7, and the side out. Grant Bezic, the junior number 24 with the St. Clair serve. To the left side, number 19 with a slicing attack goes wide. 19 is James Jasper, just came in the game just a few seconds ago. Grant Bezic continues with the serve, and the Panthers with a 2-point lead, their largest so far of game number 1. Well, Grant didn't have enough on that. I know he'd like to have that one back. Service error sends a side out and point over to the Indians, where Grant Coker, number 11, the junior outside hitter, takes care of the serving. Top spin serve. Austin Everett handles it. And the left side, Brett McCormick lands just out. Thought maybe they had a chance to hit the line. It did not. Sails just wide. Good thought, had just a little bit too much on it. Serve stays with Peters. All tied up, 9-all. Top spin serve, Trevor McGahey with a nice pass to the front line. Clay Mooch off the tip and down. McGahey to Murphy to Mucha. The 3 M's took care of that one. Panthers with the serve, Brett McCormick, the junior, so with the rotations complete and another service error. Well, Panthers in no real danger here, but you still don't like to see those service errors early in a match. Usually reliable, but there it is. Point and side out for the Indians. Brett McCormick to the front line. That time, Troy Murphy hit it on the second touch. You don't see that very often. Sometimes it crosses up the defense. Trevor McGahey with the pass. Austin Everett just tapping it over the net. Joust one at the net by Clay Mucha, but that's what Grant Bezic was trying to do just a minute ago. With the 2-hand shove over the net. It works for Peters, and they've got the lead at 11-10. Panthers handled the Peters Township pretty easily at their place earlier in the month. Indians hanging around. Troy Murphy, Austin Everett, bang, boom. 3 kills for Austin Everett. Substitution to libero. Trevor McGahey out. Matt Argento, number 26, in. You'll find that libero, the odd colored shirt. It's a white shirt for Peters. They can substitute basically anytime they want to without checking in with the official. Austin Everett not even requiring a pass for his 4th kill. Usually the alternate shirts are a defensive specialist. And that's exactly what Trevor and Tony Tennis for Peters Township will be doing. All of the players must formally check in at the sideline. Nice recovery by Clay Mucha to keep that one in play, and Brett McCormick hoisting it back over off the big hit from Ben Pritz. Another one, another recovery by Rob Senge this time, number 3. Brett McCormick again. Peters playing some pretty nifty defense right now, and yet another kill. That one goes wide. 3 nice attempts by Ben Pritz. The final one landed out of bounds here on the near side, and that gives the serve right back to the Panthers, leading by 2. 13-10, senior Clay Mucha. Once again with that little hop serve. Peters won't have much on it, and that one goes just long. Wow. Risky call, but it does indeed end up going just a shade long, and Panthers lead is now 3 at 14-11. Top serve by Clay Mucha just over the net. There's been Pritz, Brett McCormick to Troy Murphy. Short set to Matt Argento off the tip and down. Matt Argento, his second kill. The Panthers have now stretched that lead to 4 at 15-11. Largest lead of the game so far. Clay Mucha again. Probably would have gone out, but Peters chose to. No, net violation by the Panthers. I was looking the other way. Somebody was in that net. You are not allowed to touch that net. Somebody from the Panthers did. It's an automatic violation. Peters Township with the side out and the serve. Number 3 is Chris Beal. He's a senior. Free substitutions by Peters tonight. They're playing everybody. Austin Everett off the block. Gets another shot at it off the tip that time, and that one will land in. Austin Everett off the Troy Murphy set, and that's 5 kills now for Austin Everett, and that lead is back to 4. Troy Murphy heads right back to do the serving. Jump serve over the net and down. Service ace for Troy Murphy. That's the danger of that jump serve. Perfectly placed, barely over the net. Completely fooled the Peters defense, and it's a 5-point lead at 17-12. Here it comes again. Handled that time. Does it come back? Yes, Peters. No, Peters does not bring it back. Some confusion on the front line. And Peters not able to bring that one back. They did a pretty good look at it, but it ends up in the net. And timeout is called by Peters coach Chris Kelly. I'm sure this is not what he had expected from his charges. As close as they kept this game. This game was all tied up at 11 until the Panthers have put on this nice little 7-point run to stretch that lead to 18-12. It's given me a chance to catch my breath a little bit and catch up on a couple of statistics. Austin Everett, as always, the leading attacker. He's got the most kills tonight so far for the Panthers with 5. Matt Argento, number 26, the junior hitter. He's got 2. Clay Mucha, the other senior on the team, with 2, and 23 junior Brett McCormick with 1. Panthers still with that serve. It's Troy Murphy this time. With that jump serve, he's got an ace out, 2 aces out of this already. There's a long one, handled nicely by the back line of the Indians from the back row now. That was number 11, Grant Coker. Trevor McGahee with the pass, and Brett McCormick getting it over. Ball still in play. Good recovery by the Panthers. Ben Pritz. Austin Everett picked that one up. He'll hammer it right back into a block. Good recovery by Austin Everett, and the joust at the net. Short set. Austin. Boom! Oh, Austin Everett doing some damage to the polyurethane floor of this gym with a hit like that. The slicing attack headed right to the opposite corner, and it's a 7-point Panther lead at 19-12. Troy Murphy again with that serve. That fooled number 9 Sean Toohey for Peters Township, and Troy Murphy has got the jump serve clicking tonight. That downward spin it's got fools that back row. Again, that one came. See, Ben Pritz, number 21, thought he had that. And that top spin just sends that ball spiraling downward, and it fooled Ben. 4 service aces in this little run for Troy Murphy. Handled now by the Indians. Oh, and some confusion in the Panther line between Grant Bezic and Matt Argento. It's still an 8-point Panther lead, right where you want to be. And once you get to 20, remember, game goes to 25. There's Ben Pritz, probably was going to go out, but Brett McCormick chose to save it. Austin Everett from the right side this time, usually the left side hitter. The slicing attack from the right side. Panthers get the serve back and a 9-point lead at 22-13. Leading attacker, Austin Everett with a serve, nothing fancy. Handled by the Indians now from the back row. That's Ben Pritz again. Austin gets it right back to Troy Murphy. Grant Bezic, not much on it, and that one goes out. Grant Bezic befuddling him a little bit on a slow kill. A slow slicing attack that comes in for a kill. Austin Everett once again with that serve. From the left side this time, and lands out. Just out to the near side. Grant Coker, the junior hitter, had a really good look at it, but now the Panthers in great shape. It's 24-13, basically having 11 game points in hand. They only need one of the next 11 points to finish off game number 1. Troy Murphy to Grant Bezic, over to Brett McCormick on the left side. And there again, just like happened a little earlier, that set was a little bit behind him. Brett had to reach back over his head to get to that one. He did, and sailed it way long. Side out and point to the Indians, where Eric Spengenberg, number 15, puts the ball in play. Trevor McGahey to Troy Murphy over to the second ball, and that's that. The assist by Trevor McGahey. Troy Murphy fooling everybody by putting it over on the second touch, and that takes care of game number 1. The Panthers come away with this first part of this match, 25-14. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back for more. Welcome back, everybody. It was only a couple of milliseconds for you. 3 welcome minutes for us to rest our vocal cords and thumbs. It's James DeGangi, my cameraman tonight. I'm Kevin McGahey, and this is game number 2 of a best-of-5 match between the Panthers of Upper St. Clair and the Peters Township Indians. The Panthers trying to extend their unbeaten record, currently 11-0, trying to get to 12-0. And there's Austin Everett trying to do some damage, and that's exactly what the overpass goes right into the net. Those are tough to dig out of the net for anybody, and once that pass goes close enough to actually touch the net, there's not a great likelihood of that one coming back. Panthers get first blood in match in game number 2, rather. It's 1-0, and they can play. It's way up in the structure. You can play it off that stuff as long as it doesn't cross the net, and that's why that ball is still in play. It clattered around the rafters. You didn't see it on camera, but it was kind of funny from where I was sitting. Austin Everett shoving the ball over the net. It's still in play. From the right side, that is number 24, new to the match. Austin Everett with a nice kill attempt, but it falls into the net. Number 24 is Brian Hayes. He's a senior outside hitter. And with the Austin Everett misses, we're all tied up at 1 apiece. Mike Malencia, senior setter, number 8, back to the line for serving for Peters. Well, there's some confusion. Trevor McGahey looked like he had a beat on it. Brett McCormick stepped in front of him, and that confusion gives the service ace, first of the match, over to Peters. Brett gets it that time. Shoved back by Troy Murphy. Trevor McGahey, and off the net. Foot fault. Somebody got an entire foot over the black line, and that violation gives Peters Township their largest lead of the match at 3-1 here in game number 2. Trevor McGahey to Troy Murphy to Matt Argento, into the block and out of bounds. Matt Argento getting the point and side out for the Panthers. It's 3-2 Peters. Panthers took game number 1, as you saw, 25-14. Working on game number 2 of this best-of-5 match right now. And there's Troy Murphy's jump serve, handled by Peters. And Pritz off the St. Clair block. They get another chance, but no. Well, the set backed him up. We've seen that a couple of times already. The set needs to be between the player and the net. That one was just behind number 21, Ben Pritz. He had really no shot at an attack with power. Instead, he puts it into the net, and we're all knotted up at 3. Troy Murphy with that jump serve, powering it down. And from the back row, Trevor McGahey, Troy Murphy, and Austin Everett. My goodness. That's how it's supposed to work. The classic bump, set, attack, and Austin Everett off the assist from Trevor McGahey, and Troy Murphy looking good that time. And Troy Murphy once again with that serve. Nicely done. Ben Pritz sailing it wide. He had a good look at it that time. Good set by Peters Township. But he sailed that one wide out of bounds. That's a point rather for the Panthers. We already had the serve. Now it's 5-3. Troy Murphy again with that serve. Tough for the Indians to handle. The libero, number 25, Tony Tennis in the white shirt, hoisting it over the net and out of bounds. Trevor McGahey making a good decision to let that one go. And it's Troy Murphy once again. He had a big run of serves in game number 1. This will be his 6th in a row for game number 2. Ben Pritz again off the net. It's playable. Grant Bezic looking for an open spot in the floor, did not find it. Back to Pritz off the St. Clair. I'm not sure if it's off a block or if it's off the net and rolls along the top of the net. Lands on the St. Clair side, breaking Troy Murphy's string of serves. Point and side out. Peters Township, where number 9, Sean Toohey, the senior defensive specialist, will take his shot at the serve. 6-4 Panthers. Short set. Matt Argento not able to put any power on it. Nicely covered and dug out of there by Troy Murphy. Peters again. Ken Pritz with power that time. Brett McCormick. Troy Murphy with the set. Austin Everett just, Austin got his entire foot. It was a very nice attempt sailing toward the net. He couldn't stop himself in time. Got his full foot over the black line. Net line violation, and it's a point for Peters. Brett McCormick got his knees on the 2-ball. Almost fooled Peters. Ben Pritz trying the same thing. Matt Argento setting it now to Grant Bezic. Bezic winning the job. Stack the net. That's when two players are up after the same ball above the net. Grant Bezic taking care of business. Austin Everett now stepping to the back line for the St. Clair serve. Topspin serve handled by the Indians. Right side, Ben Pritz to stop. Covered nicely by Trevor McGahee. And Pritz left side finds the court that time. He's had a rough outing of it. He's been hitting in blocks and hitting it wide, but Ben Pritz takes care of business that time, and it's a point inside out for Peters, and Ben Pritz steps to the back line with the serve. Well, it works out for the Panthers. I had to hesitate there a minute. It was a classic bump set attack. Sailed way wide by Grant Bezic, but a net violation. One of the Peters Township red shirts got into the net, and that sends a side out and point to the Panthers, where Trevor McGahee takes up the serving to the left side. Well, that was a very nice hit actually by Grant Coker. He's number 11 for the Peters Township Indians. Not much power on it, but it did enough to fool the Panthers. And here again, just like in game number 1, Peters Township keeping this thing close, not letting the Panthers get away. Yeah, the Brett McCormick overpass, and it just over the net. And that gives the defense, or the opposition rather, the chance to just hammer it down to the floor, and that's exactly what Peters did. Tying up this game number 2 at 8-all. Wow, Clay Mucha into the block by Dan Postai. First time we've called his name tonight, and that was actually well done. Peters captures the lead back at 9-8. Thought maybe Clay drew a great beat on that one. Well, it came oddly off the wrist of Austin Everett. It sailed off to his left, and Clay Mucha not quick enough or not having arms long enough rather to recover that one. 10-8, Peters Township leads. Brett McCormick not finding an open spot. The right side, that's number 24, Brian Hayes, sailing it way long. That's what the Panthers needed to break that little string of serves that Peters Township had. Panthers trail by 1. It's 10-9 Peters. Grant Bezic, number 24 with the serve. That set actually was too close to the net. I wasn't sure Grant Cork would have much to do with it from Peters, but sure enough, he just pushed that ball down into an open spot off a couple of wrists and out of bounds. Point for Peters, and they got that 2-point lead back. It is 11-9. Dan Pustai with a serve that goes about 4 feet too long. Panthers will take that gift. Brett McCormick, the junior number 23, steps back to the back line to serve. Knuckleball of a serve handled by Peters. Another one that goes. Same thing has happened just a second ago. That set was really too close to the net, not giving Grant Coker many options. He did the same exact thing, sort of sliced it, pushed it over the net. It found a spot on the floor, and now he's got the serve, and that fools Austin Everett off his left hand and out of bounds. And Peters now with their largest lead of the match at 13-10. Panthers needing a quick side out. to regroup and get that serve. Well, there it is right there. Panthers didn't have to move a squidge. Service error. Sends the side out and serve back to the Panthers, needing a run of points here to start putting Peters away. Clay Mucha starts it. Oh, that probably was going long, but Peters chose to play it. And a little short set to number 19, James Jasper, with power. Not much the Panthers could do about that. I love that little short set, little quick set play. Panthers, though, not able to trade points right now. They need a string. There's Austin Everett, not with one. I thought maybe he had a Trevor McGahee with the recovery. Back to Austin Everett. That time lands in just inside the line. Austin Everett, 10 kills tonight. Panthers do get the side out. Troy Murphy, the jump server, hits to the back row to see what he can do for damage. Handled nicely by Peters. Short set again, but into the block this time. Matt Argento blocked that short set play. Brett McCormick, Troy Murphy, Austin Everett. Look at that. Austin Everett leading everyone as he usually does in the kills department, and this could be the short little string of points the Panthers need. They trail by one, 14-13 Peters. Top spin, diving jump serve. Then Pritz again, that set was behind him, so he could not hit with power. But not that time. Austin Everett with power, recovered, dug out of there. Pritz again. Murphy to Argento, nothing much on it, did not find an open spot. Some confusion on the front line of the Panthers. Somebody was in the net, I missed it. Net violation gives that side out, and point over to Peters. 2-point lead, 15-13. Peters Township, both numbers 9 and 14 are back on the floor. Number 9 is Sean Toohey, number 14 Dan Postai, both back on the floor for Peters. And that's Sean Toohey with the serve. And that's Grant Bezic with the attack, and that'll work. Grant Bezic. That slicing attack when it heads to the side. That one got into the Peters bench, and it could not be brought back out. Austin Everett now with the Panthers serve, trailing by one. Knuckle serve and a hard one, and that goes out of bounds. Nicely done by Austin Everett. His first service ace of the night. That's 5 for the Panthers, and now we're knotted up at 15, just what the Panthers needed. See if he can keep it going. Off the tip, nice block by Brett McCormick. Back set to Grant Bezic, covered nicely, and Peters probably should have set that when they did not. Brett McCormick, wow, some pretty good defense being played by Peters. The set was too low to get any power out of that. Trevor McGahee now to Troy Murphy, short set, Matt Argento, and that one works. The classic pass, set, kill, and Grant Bezic giving the Panthers the lead. Well, I'm not sure they've had the lead this game, have we? 16-15, Panthers with the lead. And from the way back row, that was Grant Coker, but that's Brett McCormick off the chest of Mike Valencia. Brett McCormick, his second kill tonight. 5 different players in the kill department for the Panthers, and now it's a 2-point Panther lead at 17-15. Austin Everett again, knuckle serve, gotten out of there by Peters, and that one sails wide. Dan Postai was a hitter that time. He thought he was going to aim for rather that side line. He did not do that. It sails wide, and here we go again with Peters having kept this game close the whole way through, having led by 3 earlier on. And right now the Panthers have clawed back with a couple of successful serving runs by Troy Murphy and Austin Everett. The Panthers now lead 18-15. And as a quick summary here, Austin Everett, as always, leads all killers with 11 tonight. Grant Bezic, the junior, number 24, with 4. Matt Argento, wearing number 26 tonight, has 3. Brett McCormick, number 23, with 2. Clay Mucha with 2. And Troy Murphy with 1. He was successful on a second touch over the net. Grant Bezic has 2 gorgeous blocks for points. That happened very early in game number 1. Troy Murphy, 4 service aces tonight. Austin Everett, 1. And the Peters Township Indians with 2 of their own. So Coach Chris Kelly, I'm sure, regrouping his troops he doesn't want to let this game get away either, like the last one did, where they kept it close all the way to 12 or 13, and then the Panthers just took off on a tear, and there wasn't much the Peters Township Indians could respond. They didn't have much of a response for it. So Austin Everett, the senior, one of the two seniors for the Panthers, back to the back line for the serve. And that timeout didn't do him any good. I'm sure he wishes he had that one back. But there it is, side out and point for Peters. Ben Pritz, the junior outside hitter, doing the serving now. Jump serve for Peters. That tips over the net. Trevor McGahee digging it out of there. And Brett McCormick with the finish. Lands just out. Oh, I thought that one might be in. That was not to be. Trevor McGahee, the pass to the front line. The Irish connection. McGahee to Murphy to McCormick. Same thing. No, back set this time to Grant Biesick. One of the players, sorry, couldn't tell you which one. For Peters, you probably had a better look at it than I did. Was in the net, and that violation gives the Panthers the side out and the point. Sophomore Trevor McGahee, wearing the libero jersey, steps up for the serve. Successfully over. Let's see if the Panthers can play some defense now. Well, there was a nicely defended block, but it rolled off the left arm rather of Clay Mucha. Trading points now, Peters Township with that one. It's still a 1-point Panther lead at 19-18. It'd be great if they had a couple of point cushion here once they get to 20-point land. Same thing, but Grant Biesick, and this time, does not work. Well, almost. Peters with a nice recovery attempt that time. Ben Pritz kind of mad at himself for not getting it over, but there was a valiant effort to bring that one back and get out of it what they could. 2-point lead for the Panthers, and Grant Biesick to the back line for the serve. Just over the net. Lands in. Well, that's kind of what you like. Grant Coker taking care of that one. You like to have serves or attacks that land just at the back line. In fact, there was a little indecision on the Upper St. Clair Panthers' part, and that gave Peters a point. The trailer by one is 20-19. Dan Pustai with the serve. Well, there's the quick set. Clay Mucha came up a little short and then hammered it into the net, and we are all tied up at 20. Now what happens is you have to win these games by 2. A game goes to 25, but if we happen to be all tied up at 24, we play extra volleyball until it's decided by 2. Austin Everett bringing it back to the front. Back to the front. That sounds ridiculous. Into the net, and there we go. Yeah, a lift called. I explained before, once those overpasses get in the net, they're extremely difficult to dig out. Panthers get the side out and point. It's 21-20, but they need a couple here in a hurry to avoid going into extra time. Brett McCormick with the serve. Over the net, Austin Everett. That's the overpass. We saw that earlier in game number 1, the overpass. Austin Everett doing the ball some serious damage. I hope it doesn't have a flat spot on it. Brett McCormick again with the serve. Panthers with that 2-point lead, just what they needed. Well, off the St. Clair block and out of bounds. That was Brian Hayes who took care of that. Peters trailing by 1, but the Panthers with the advantage right now. The receiving team generally has the advantage. They get the first shot at the bump set attack. And the Panthers content to trade points from here on out. They just can't allow Peters to have a quick little run here. And Austin Everett making sure that doesn't happen. That's the bump set kill right there, baby. And it's a 2-point Panther lead, 23-21. Senior Clay Mucha serving. Little hop serve. And, that's that indecision. It was, yeah, that one was going to land right on the line. Tony Tennis made the right move to bring that ball back, but it results in a service ace for Clay Mucha. Now the Panthers with 3 game points in hand. They scored any one of these next 3, and game number 2 is over. That does that. My goodness, Austin Everett, jeepers. What a set by Troy Murphy. What a hit by Austin Everett. And game number 2 is in the books. The Panthers now with a 2-1 lead in game. Stay with us, everybody, as we go to game number 3. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks for staying with. Well, that's a nice start. Caught me unawares. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. This is game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. I'm Kevin McGahey doing the voiceover tonight. James DeGangi's doing the videography. And the Panthers draw first blood on a Brett McCormick service ace. His first of the match. We are in game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. You've seen... Well, there's one for Peters. You've seen Upper St. Clair win game number 1, 25-14. Captured game number 2, 25-21. This is game number 3. Panthers win this. We all go home early and happy. Peters Township comes away with this. We go to a 4th game. So right now, at hand, that's Troy Murphy on the second touch. Did not fool Peters. Ben Pritz just tapping the ball over. Dug out of there by Rob Senge. Oh, Troy Murphy, but hit it right off the nose of Trevor McGahey. Nice dig by junior Rob Senge. He's number 3, but not enough to get a point out of it. And Peters leads 2-1. Trevor McGahey to Troy Murphy to Austin Everett. That combination's been working all night long. The nice pass by McGahey. Murphy with the set and Everett putting it away. Clay Mucha, senior number 11, with the hop serve. Goes to the net short serve. Well, timing was all off, but it's ball still in play. There's the short set. Matt Argento. Wow. No, Peters will not bring it back. Nice effort by the Indians, but Matt Argento getting credit for that kill. Off a couple of hands, off the rafters, you name it. It hit just about everything in this gym, but it did not come back, and that's a point for the Panthers, having them giving us the lead at 3-2. Clay Mooch again. Hop serve and about 9 feet too long. Got to get Clay out of the weight room. Trevor McGahey, the libero, checks back in to play his rotation at defense. And Sean Toohey, the senior defensive specialist, number 9, doing the serve for Peters. Well, that net is 8 feet off the ground. That one came in at about 7 feet 9. Service error gives it right back to Upper St. Clair, and we'll see what the jump serve of Troy Murphy can bring us now. Very nicely done and not recovered by the Indians. Troy Murphy, 5 of those service aces tonight, but the first one for him since game number 1. And the Panthers with an early 5-3 lead in game number 3. Top spin serve again now. Austin Everett takes care of the overpass. No assist on that one. He did that all by himself. And it's a 6-3 Panther lead. Troy Murphy again with that devastating jump serve. Handled now by Peters, but the set didn't go anywhere. It went to exactly nobody. Matt Argento now bringing it back. Well, Grant Bezic also didn't have a chance for power. Peters now with a shot. Ben Pritz off the St. Clair Matt Argento block. Once again off his fingertips this time. Troy Murphy bringing it back. Austin Everett. Well, that was an unusual one. Austin wasn't even at the net. He was standing about 8 feet back and still got up high enough for a slicing attack for a successful kill. And the lead is now 4 at 7-3 Panthers. Troy Murphy again, dug out of there by Peters. Little back set to the right side, and that one works for the Peters Township Indians. That has been Pritz finally doing it from the right side. And he goes right back to serve. Top spin serve, Trevor McGahey, Troy Murphy, Austin Everett again, and not brought back. Austin Everett. This team is going to miss Austin Everett when he graduates this year, but he is the key piece that has gotten the Panthers this far with this 11-0 record. We hope it's going to expand to 12-0 after tonight off the Brett McCormick block. A nice gift for the Panthers. I thought maybe the momentum of Brett McCormick was going to carry him into the net. It turns out it was an Indian who slithered into the net there a little bit, and it still belongs to the Panthers and the 9-4 lead. Austin Everett doing the serving. Not a block. 4 hits called. Grant Coker with a pretty good look at it, but it came up short. He wanted to just sort of ladle that ball over the net. Didn't work. It came back to his own side. Well, speaking of ladling the ball, I guess Austin Everett Wishes he hadn't done that, but he'll get another shot coming up later. Panthers with a 5-point lead. It is 10-5 here in game number 3. Eric Spengelberg, number 15 for Peters. Trevor McGahee, Troy Murphy, and way up high from the back row, Grant Bezic. Holy smokes, what a terrific Troy Murphy set. Grant Bezic hammering the ball down on the Peters side. Trevor McGahee, the sophomore libero, heads back to do the serving. From the right side into the Panthers block. That's Dan Pustai, another block. No, 4 hits called, not a block. Sorry about that, Grant. I can't credit you with a block for a point. It's a point for the Panthers just the same. And coach Chris Kelly, no, not a timeout, substitution rather. Mark Hayes, number 22, on the floor. Grant Coker, the junior hitter, out for Peters. Trevor McGahee continuing with that serve, a little backspin on it. Oh, too bad Trevor had to look at it. Rattled off his left wrist and out of bounds over the back line. Just a little hesitation on his part. 12-6, Panthers still doubling up the Indians in this game number 3. Number 19, James Jasper, back on the floor. He substitutes for Mike Valencia. And what the serving gods giveth, they taketh away. That's Dan Pustai with one sailed very long across the back line. And the lead is 7 for the Panthers. Grant Bezic up with the serve. Yeah, that was a pretty good hit by James Jasper. Falls right at the feet of Trevor McGahee. No, I wouldn't want to be out there trying to dig that stuff off the floor. It's still a 6-point lead. And this will be Mark Hayes doing the Indian serving. Jump serve. Brett McCormick lofting it back over the net. Now from the left side, that's Ben Pritz. 4 hits again, not a block. Well, the Panthers have been in good position for blocks, but the Indians have been hitting them in the net this time around. Junior Brett McCormick, number 23. Back for the serve. And a good one. The libero, Tony Tennis, brings that one forward. Off the St. Clair block, punched right up in the air. From the left side again, Ben Pritz. Oh, into the Clay Mucha block, and he dug it out of there. That's remarkable. Whoa. Nice presence of mind by Clay Mucha, and a very nice finish by Troy Murphy. The setter doesn't usually get kill attempts like that, but that worked out just fine for junior Troy Murphy, giving Brett McCormick another chance, and the Panthers with an 8-point lead at 15-7. Yeah, Clay Sherrill will probably let that one go to the back row, but he thought he might be able to hammer that one back down. A lift is called. Basically, his hand was on the ball for too long a period of time. And that sends a side out and point over to Peters. Trailing by 7, 15-8 Panthers. Trevor McGahee, Troy Murphy, and Austin Everett. Wow, we've seen that combination a lot tonight. 18 kills for Austin Everett, rather. I wish I'd been counting the assists for Troy Murphy, but as the setter, he gets the touch nearly every time. Kevin Corrigan, a sophomore middle hitter, the only sophomore on the squad, one of 2 sophomores rather, for Peters. He is on the floor, number 20. Ben Pritz off the Troy Murphy block, and the Troy Murphy attack not handled by Peters. It went all over their side of the floor. Ends up being a successful kill for Troy Murphy, and now the Panthers in pretty decent shape, a 9-point lead. It's 17-8 in Clay Mucha with that hop serve. The knuckleball, yeah, I could read the word Mikasa from way up here, and it landed just in the stomach of Mark Hayes. And Clay Mucha with his second service ace of the night, and a 10-point Panther lead. Short set, Matt Argento off an Indian head. Coming right back, this will be Ben Pritz. Not with power, though, sort of rolled off his wrist. That was power, but it did not land in. That lands wide and long. Trevor McGahee wearing the red jersey back on the floor for St. Clair. Same substitution made. De libero out. Tony Tennis for Peters. Sean Tui with that Peters serve. And Austin Everett with that collapsing. Somebody's going to get hurt if they get in the way of that thing. It's 19 kills for Austin now. And that lead is back to 10 for Panthers. It looks for the Panthers. It looks rather at this stage that we will be going home happy and early. There's Troy Murphy with that jump serve at the net, brought back and just long. Good call by, good call by Trevor McGahee to let that one. I'm not quite sure what happened there. That one landed clearly out. Perhaps someone from St. Clair touched it. Nice hit by Dan Pustai. Sorry about missing that one. I thought that was clearly out. Now let's have a little bit of a discussion here as to what exactly happened. I saw the referee signal that one out. Well, I apologize for being a little bit baffled here. I'm not too sure what happened. I'm not sure you can go back 2 points and make a correction. Yeah, we're about to find out here. I regret they don't. I'm sitting here 17 rows back in the back of the stands and don't always get the latest info from the officials. But the coach has a pretty good point. I thought that a minute ago when Trevor McGahee let that one go out that it was out. It appears to have been a missed. It's hard to explain. It clearly went out. I saw the upper referee signal out. But Peters was given the serve, after which they scored a point. So it looks like we're correct. They have taken the last point off the board that Peters had earned. And it's now 20-10 Panthers instead of 19-11. And Coach Chris Kelly has got. Now we're trying to get the score right. Well, I certainly do apologize for this, but I have to make a lot of guesses based on hand gestures. But it is absolutely clear that Coach Chris Kelly is unhappy, and probably rightly so. I wasn't sure you could go back 2 points and make a correction. Like in basketball, there are correctable errors, but once the ball is put back in play, that is not correctable. But here we go, the Panthers with a 20-10 lead here in game number 3. Well, it looked pretty nice from this side. Trevor McGahee to Troy Murphy to Grant Bezek right down the line, doing some damage to the poor linesman. But it was called out. So it's side out and point for Peters. Top spin serve, Brett McCormick handling that. Short set. Matt Argento into the Dan Pustai block for Peters. Well done for a point, and that brings the Indians back within 8. It's 20-12. Ben Pritz with that serve. Trevor McGahee to Troy Murphy. Grant Bezek, and that one works. Good combination, good power from Grant Bezek for his kill number 7 tonight. And now the Panthers get the point and the side out back. It is 21-12. Austin Everett with the serve. A little slow backspin serve. Matt Argento with the block. Barely comes over. Let's see now. Brett McCormick getting it back over the net. Oh, very nicely done. Very nicely chosen rather by Mark Hayes, number 22. Just off the St. Clair block, off a wrist, and point for Peters. Still trailing by 8 though. Panthers in great shape here. It's 21-13. A double substitution. Number 24 on for Peters is Brian Hayes, and number 13 is Ross Wickstrom. I believe that's him going to the back line for the Peters serve. Sorry, 15. That's Eric Spengenberg. Matt Argento. A lot of bodies and confusion at the net, but the ball comes off the hand of Matt Argento. 5 kills tonight for Matt, and Panthers now in great shape at 22-13. Sophomore Trevor McGahee back for the serve. And not much on it. Troy Murphy now to Clay Muchu, who does the setting for Grant Bezek off the tip. 2 more hits allowed for Peters, and indeed they do bring the ball back. Trevor McGahey again. Troy Murphy and McCormick to 3M, the Irish connection. McGahey to Murphy to McCormick. And it doesn't matter how hard you hit him, it is where. And Brett McCormick found an empty spot in the Peters defense. And now with a 10-point lead, it is 23-13. The game goes to 25. And that is a service ace for Trevor McGahey. 5 different players with aces tonight, 10 total aces. And now the Panthers in great shape with basically 11 match points in hand. It's Trevor McGahey with that backspin serve to the front line and out, and that'll do it. Trevor McGahey serves out the match. And the Upper St. Clair Panthers extend their unbeaten and untied, unblemished record for 2009 to 12-0 with a Section 1 victory over the Peters Township Indians, 25-14, 25-14, 25-21, and 25-13. And this sends everybody home early and happy. We're glad you've been with us all night long. My name's Kevin McGahey. My videographer has been James DeGangi. We're glad you were with us all night long. Thanks a lot, everybody. There's still a lot more volleyball to come. Thanks for watching Cable 7, and good night.